Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Girly Nerd Podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about all things pop culture, like movies, TV, music, theme parks, all the fun things. I am your host, Marianne, aka the Girly Nerd, and today I am joined by Jeanette Miller. Thank you for coming on my podcast.
Yes, I'm super excited. I can't wait. It's going to be super fun.
Today we are going to be talking about our favorite Renée Zellweger movies.
Mm-hmm.
And before we get into our lists, I just want to talk about her a little bit as an actress.
Okay.
Now, she's been someone I've loved for quite a few years. I think she's very versatile, and she's obviously very well renowned. She has 4 Oscar nominations, and she's won twice. She won for Best Supporting Actress for Cold Mountain in 2004. And then she won many years later for Best Actress for Judy. That was in 2020. She was also nominated for Bridget Jones's Diary and Chicago, which we'll be talking about later. So as we said before we started, so you chose her because she was a little bit of a blind spot for you?
Right. So I had seen a handful of films that she was in, but she wasn't one that I would actively seek out. Like if she had a movie coming out, it was kind of like, maybe I might go and see it or seek it out. But she does, early in her career, and I'm sure we'll talk about these films, but she gets kind of cast in a certain way that made it really difficult for me to be. I was like, it's just going to be that face where she goes. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. Like, how many times is she going to be cast as the woman that's just like, I'll just take the scraps of love that you could give. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Especially when there are other films that she's been in that we're going to talk about, where she's just an amazingly strong, independent, holds her own in that. It's her movie. Like, so but I have a hard time when any female when any actress is put in a role like that.
Sure.
Where I'm just like, what, like, why are we still doing this? I mean, we're going backwards. Because if you look at really old films with Katharine Hepburn and stuff, they weren't like looking for the scraps from some guy. They were like, hey, we're gonna do this or not, but so strong female characters, and I feel like we kind of went backwards, and now it's kind of coming back. So she was kind of a blind spot for me, and so I was really looking forward to having a fresh look at a lot of these films, and I surprised myself with my list, so it was good.
Oh, that's great. Okay. She's someone. It's like when I choose to watch a movie, the number one thing is, what is the movie about? Like, what's the story? And then if it has someone I like in it, then I go, okay, let's see what this is. So she would be someone, it would be like, the first is a story, and I'm like, oh, Renée Zellweger's in it. I like her. Let's see how this is. So she's not someone like I have to watch everything she's in, because sometimes I'm like, I don't really want to watch that. But it's like that with any actor. But the ones I like more, they will, like, if they are in it, I will tend to think more highly of it, like in anticipation of it, sort of thing.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
So let's start with your honorable mentions.
You want me to just list them down or one by one?
You could go one by one.
Okay. My number 4, I'll go 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
My number 4 is a movie she did in 2009 called My One and Only. And it's a George Hamilton. It's like he writes this, it's a story about his life and his mom. And the reason that I put it in at the bottom of my honorable mentions is she plays this kind of over the top mother, living like she's that character, she's that woman who's just like totally oblivious to reality, and she's like, I'm in charge of everything. I get whatever. I'm just, every time I turn around, somebody's saying how beautiful I am. And so I get the guy, whatever. Oh, but things aren't working out. So we're just going to go on to the next town. Oh, things aren't working out. We're just going to go to, so and then her sons are kind of like dragged along with her till they get to LA. And then the son that they don't expect to be in the movies or on TV is the one who actually, George Hamilton, who actually gets to get a break.
Okay.
But the reason she's like a freight train that grabs this film and pushes all the way to the end. Otherwise, it would be so boring if she, like for this film, you would be like, what is the purpose of this movie? Is it just a vanity project for George Hamilton? And then who cares? But she, without her energy and drive and just disconnection from reality, or this character, this lady, it's, so for that, I made it my number 4 because just her sheer energy propels this movie from start to finish.
Well, I haven't seen
it's the only redeeming thing. I'm sorry?
I haven't seen this one. I got to check that out.
It came out in 2009.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's set a long time ago. So it's like...
Well, yeah, George Hamilton. He was an actor like in the 60s. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably like in the 50s or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the next one?
Oh God, this is where it's gonna get crazy because one of these, 2 of my honorable mentions are on your top 5.
Okay.
My 3rd one, I'm so sorry, is Down with Love. So sorry.
Okay. You don't have to like it as much as me.
Well, I love the set. I love the costumes. I love that era so much. But I love the concept. I love the story, but the camp was too much for me.
Oh, okay.
Like, they were too self-aware in the cheeky farce, kind of style. So if it was played straighter and less, oh, this is what we're doing, with the walking and, because everybody in it is so fabulous.
Yeah.
Everybody in it is so fabulous, but it felt like they were doing it on purpose, not like in an old 50s film, with Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe, and they're walking in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and they're just like, and every head's turning. This was just like, oh, this is what we're doing. It was just felt a little too staged for me, so it was hard for me to really get into it fully. So that's how it got. I still good, but it got into my honorable mention.
That's okay. I'll save my full thoughts when I get to my list. But
okay,
that's fine. As I always say with people, it's like you don't have to like something or dislike something exactly like me.
Yeah.
I don't care, and what works for someone doesn't work for someone else. So all the things that you weren't liking are why I like the movie. I like how over the top and campy it is. That it's not parody, but it's not a straight period piece. It's like somewhere in
Right.
between. It's in
Yeah.
between. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I liked about it. It made me really laugh.
It is funny.
Yeah.
It is funny. And maybe because I've been like cramming
Mm.
and maybe I had too many Renee Zellwegers all crammed into like
Too
2
much at
weeks.
once.
So that could have like, you know, had some influence on how my list was created. Okay, my number 2 is Jerry Maguire.
Okay.
That was a hard one to watch. That was the last one I watched. Jerry Maguire, it's Tom Cruise's movie.
Mm-hmm.
Renee Zellweger's character could have been played by anybody. I think it was a good chance for her to get her visually, like to get her name out there and to get it's a good role for her to have on her resume because it's a Tom Cruise movie. It's going to make money. A lot of people are going to see her in it. So it was a good opportunity. But her character is awful. It's so terrible. Not in a bad way. It's terrible in that what did I wrote her doe-eyed her doe eyes, and then this movie makes single moms a cautionary tale like Fatal Attraction did for affairs. Seriously, because she reads his memo. It's a mission statement. I read your memo. It's a mission. Okay, we get it. She reads the memo and she's just in love with this and so inspired. It's like, you've been holding your life together before he came into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that woman? Where is she? Where is this smart lady? This mom, hardworking mom, where is she? Because as soon as he gives her 2 seconds of time, she's like, I'll follow you anywhere. And then it's just the whole relationship. And when they go on their date and then they kiss, and then, oh my God, that was so cringy. And he's kissing her all over. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about? Just
Yeah.
kissing. Oh God, it was so cringy. I just felt like she's better than this role. She's better than that. And anybody could have played that. It just I just don't like when women are pigeonholed into that kind of situation,
Sure.
where they just yeah. So to me that's why it was terrible, because I feel like she kind of because I think that came out in 96, so it was pretty early, and then she had to do a lot of stuff to get away from that. You don't want to be
Yeah.
pigeonholed in that way. So good for her career, a crummy role.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm done. Ready? You go.
Oh, well, this is one of my honorable mentions too. It couldn't be in my top 5 because I don't like it as much as all those other movies.
Yeah,
I rewatched it the other night because I hadn't seen it in forever.
same.
I like it more than you do. I'm not quite as harsh on her part, but I do agree that she's very she's just so over the moon in love with him to a degree that the character doesn't really deserve.
Yeah.
He's not terrible, but he's not the greatest either. So, and it's like she just is so willing to drop everything for him.
That's what I mean.
But it's not her movie. It's his
Oh.
movie. It's a Tom Cruise showcase. And it
Mm-hmm.
is, I mean, one thing I did note that sometimes I think people forget, because it's been a long time, people forget that he's actually a good actor. Because all he does is like, action movies now and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's good in this. And
he's very good.
yeah.
I'd forgotten really about it. And so is Cuba Gooding Jr. I mean,
Yeah.
those two guys, phenomenal
Because I'm
jobs
like,
in that.
he won an Oscar, and I'm thinking, oh, man, did he deserve an Oscar? And I'm like, Cuba Gooding Jr., I'm like, no, he's great. I really liked him a lot, because I didn't really remember very much of his part. And but as far as Renee Zellweger, there are two moments that stood out for me, because I like when actors or actresses, you can tell what they're thinking and feeling just by their expression. And the moment when her son is hugging Jerry, and she's just standing there looking at him, and it's like you could see all the emotions like washing over her face. And I appreciate good acting like that. And then from her perspective, it's like finding someone who will love your child that much is hard. So I think that's probably part of the reason she's so moony over him, because of how much he loves her kid. And and then because I'm a hopeless romantic, I do love the line at the end. I think that's a really great line, even if he doesn't fully deserve it. That is a great line. You had me at hello, and that's a great acting job on her part, and his part too. His whole speech and everything is good.
I liked the speech. Yeah, it's not a bad movie. And for some reason, when I was getting ready for this, I was like, oh God, Jerry Maguire, I'm gonna have to watch that film. Bleh. And then I was like, oh yeah, because it does get overshadowed by some of those little clips or those quotes, and then you're just like, but then you see it and you're remembered. Oh my gosh, these are some really intense powerhouse performances. But even, oh my gosh, her name's escaping me. Even her sister Laurel.
Oh, Bonnie Hunt. Yeah, she's great.
Bonnie Hunt, yeah. I thought she was way more interesting than Renee Zellweger's character. Like more realistic.
I love her. I love Bonnie Hunt in general, and yeah, she's great.
I do too.
Yeah, she's great.
And I was like, that would have been more believable to me, like if Jerry had to fight a little harder to get Dorothy, but she just stops everything, and then when she does decide to make a move, then he proposes out of nowhere, and she's like, oh, okay, we're getting married. I was like, what is happening? You guys went on one date.
I know. She's in love.
He has no money. He has nothing. Like, what's going on?
That's why your sister's like, okay, all right. I hope it works out.
Oh my gosh. I know. It's just anyway, so that's why it was, there were good things about the film. And so it made it into my honorable mentions, but I was like,
that's why it's not in my top 5. Yeah.
She should have had, luckily she has other ones. My number 1 honorable mention is in your top 5, and it's Chicago. And I'm so sorry that it's an honorable mention. It's it's great. I love it, but that's Catherine Zeta-Jones's film. That's hers, man. There's nothing I can do about it. She kills every scene she is in. She is Bob Fosse snapping her body all over the place. She is so committed. I feel bad for people who have to act opposite Catherine Zeta-Jones, because she will tear you up in whatever scene she is in. She is so fantastic in Chicago, such a force. that it really, I think Renee Zellweger did a good job, but she's more of like an actress that moves well. And she also just had this, like, I had a hard time getting into her character because it seemed like she um was more disconnected from reality, but in a different way,
Mm-hmm.
than psychologically disconnected. But it was just like she just more like delusional, and I can not it's hard for me to describe her that way because of the movies that are coming later on. Um but just in comparison, I just didn't I felt like she was doing a good job, but it was hard for me to get anything to sink my teeth into her. And I thought Richard Gere was completely miscast.
Oh
Oh my God.
yeah.
His scenes were
Oh.
so boring. Oh, I
Oh, I
couldn't.
don't feel that way at all.
And I love Richard Gere, but I was like, oh my God. Every time he was on screen, I felt like it just pulled. There are so many strong women in that film. Queen Latifah, Mia, like there's so many great women in it. And
Mhm.
then for some reason he's there and I'm just like, what's going on? I kept thinking, why didn't they cast Matt Dillon? He would have been so much better.
Matt Dillon.
But
I never thought of putting him in a musical.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know him very well.
Oh gosh, I just kept thinking that his name just and his face just kept popping up in my when I was watching that. And I have Chicago. I own that one. So I just popped it in from my library because it is really good. But I wanted something a little bit more versatile. I wanted to see a bigger range.
Mhm.
And just something a little bit more interesting for me. And so I love Chicago as a musical, high energy. But it just didn't crack my top five.
That's okay. I'll save my thoughts since it's
All
high on
right.
you. So my first honorable mention is Miss Potter.
Mm-hmm.
This is from 2006, and it's a story about the children's author Beatrix Potter. For anyone who doesn't know it, this is such a lovely, gentle little movie, very underrated. And I think it's nice because I bet you a lot of people don't know anything about Beatrix Potter.
Yeah.
And her story is very interesting and deserves to be told for, all the things she did as an author and then for the country, which I will get to. But so this was made, as I said, it was made in 2006. It was made in like a period where they were doing other similar movies like this about
Mm-hmm.
biopics about like famous like British authors. So there was like Finding Neverland about J.M. Barrie, the author of Peter Pan, and Becoming Jane, which was about Jane Austen. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but this one, no one ever talks about. I feel like people don't know it or they forget it.
I
But
didn't know it.
it's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it reteams her with Ewan McGregor, who she's in Down with Love with. And,
Mm-hmm.
um, I just love the two of them on screen together. I think they are just great. This complete opposite of Down with Love as far as their
Oh
chemistry.
yeah.
This is much more sweet natured and there's just like this underlying tension, but it's so chaste. but so sweet. And I loved the way they had her showed how she created like her stories and her drawings, the way they would come to life before her and
Mm-hmm.
he would talk to them. So it gave this sort of whimsical quality to the
Mm-hmm.
movie. And then so at the end of it, it said that she's the best-selling children's author of all time. Now, I don't know if that's still the case. I didn't look that up.
I didn't either.
I'm like, is she still, or maybe someone like J.K. Rowling maybe is now instead. I don't know. But what still is true is that because she was so wealthy from her books, she bought all this land in England and then donated it to this preservation trust. So all this land in England is preserved thanks to her. And I bet you people don't know that. I mean, we owe her so much because it's like, I hate when land is bought up and just developed and it just losing the natural beauty of some place. I hate.
Right.
So the director of this, his name's Chris Noonan, and he also did Babe, which has a similar sweetness and whimsy to it. And then I wrote down the cinematographer because I love when movies have this sort of sweeping, soft quality to them. And he's did lots of different sorts of movies. So his name's Andrew Dunn. So he's obviously someone, he just knows how to give the movie the right kind of lighting and camera work and stuff. So some of his other movies are Ever After, Practical Magic, Gosford Park, Stage Beauty, The Count of Monte Cristo, Crazy Stupid Love, The Butler, Perks of Being a Wallflower, and Downton Abbey: A New Era. But that's just the ones I wrote down. So he's a great cinematographer.
Really good list.
Yeah. But yeah, lovely movie. Was this one you watched maybe for the first time?
It was. I don't think I knew anything about it. It came out in 2006, so yeah, I don't remember really hearing anything about it, but it is really sweet. It was really interesting to learn more about her as an author and just all the things that she was doing. I could see how it would be. It could be an honorable mention. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, that was the greatest, blah, blah. Yeah. It was just a sweet movie. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's good. It's so good. And I really loved watching it. I rewatched it and I'm like, yeah, this is a nice movie. If you just want to watch something that just makes you feel nice, even though there's sad, there's obviously sad. But I just love the end when she's standing up to the guy. She's like, I don't let people basically talk down to me anymore. And she just stands firm. And I'm like, I love that, especially for that time period. That was such a wonderful thing for her. So
it was, yeah. I think that's one of the things I did like about it is that even for that time period, she was pushing herself and I know these are, good books and da 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 da. Yeah. So
and
I
she
like
would
when
not
she's
let her
playing
parents
an
pressure
independent
her
woman.
either.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not going to marry someone just because they're suitable. I'm going to marry this man because I love him, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is great. My second honorable mention is Leatherheads. This is from 2008. It co-stars George Clooney, who also directed the movie, and John Krasinski. And this movie is just fun.
Yes.
It's just a fun, zany, madcaps kind of screwball-esque comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm actually surprised it did horribly. It didn't even make its budget back. No one remembers it.
Oh geez.
And it's like, it seems like it has like all the elements for like a fun, crowd pleasing kind of film. And it just flew under the radar, but I really love it. Very stylish. I love the time period. I didn't know very much about, the history of football and stuff. And so that's interesting. And I love the banter with George Clooney and Renée Zellweger. It's so, you can tell what they're going for. They're going for like that 1930s, Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant sort of back and forth. And the first scene where they meet each other and they're going back and forth so fast. I'm like, oh, I love this.
I did too.
Yeah. And then the scene when they're running away from the police officers, I'm like, this is so funny. And and then John Krasinski's really cute too. And I love how his character's a little deeper than you would probably expect from a movie like this. And I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, but there's a lot to his story that it had a really good resolution that made me happy. And yeah, it's a fun movie. People should check it out. What do you think about it?
It landed in my top 5. Do you
Oh,
want to know
awesome.
which one?
Yeah.
Number 3. Number 3.
Oh, that's great.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
My notes were she's a strong, independent woman. She's got a tongue of fire. Like, she is zing, zing, zing. She does not suffer fools. She holds her own. She's a newspaper woman. She's not falling for anybody's. No, she sees right through it. She holds her own with George Clooney. She never once gets that doe-eyed face.
No.
Even when they are flirting, she does not give him 1 inch.
Yeah.
She does not give him, like, this handsome guy is not gonna blind me with beauty. Like, no way. And yeah, I thought it was super fun. I love the era. I love the dialogue. The action is really good. It's cheeky and fun. Like, it's so slapstick when they're running from the cops. It just has so many great moments. But it encapsulates those films from that time ago where it's just like zing, 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 with the dialogue. So, and aside from a few moments where I thought, okay, George, I get it. You directed it. You're going to hold the camera on your face for those extra few seconds. Get over yourself, we get it. You're handsome. Okay, move on. Aside from those, just really just fun, slapstick physical comedy moments. Just really super duper fun film. So I thought she was just fantastic. I thought Renée Zellweger was in her element because she's got great comedic timing and she can fling those lines out like nobody's business. So I just thought this is really great. So that movie made my number 3 in my top 5.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And I do. I love the fight between George Clooney and John Krasinski, where they're like,
"Oh my God.
don't hit me here, don't hit me here," and oh my God, it's so funny.
I know. Well, let's just stick to the face. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't want to spoil it, but this is how vain. This is how much vanity George Clooney has. They're literally punching each other in the face all night, and the next morning the sun's coming, and there's not a scratch or smudge of blood anywhere on their faces. Right.
I guess I wasn't thinking about it.
I was like, you guys have been fighting all night, and there's not one. You look like the same as you did when you started punching each other. So I was just like, okay.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
And because they had beat up faces when they did the bar fight scene. George Clooney was all. I just thought that was like it was more hilarious than like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, really loved that one. I thought it was really super fun. Yeah.
And this is the kind of Clooney I like. I like fun, charming, sort of Clooney. I'm not big on like the dark, heavy, serious stuff that he does. Like, I know he's a good actor, but this is just what I enjoy watching more. And yeah, Renée Zellweger is so great. So my other honorable mention was Jerry Maguire. So what is your number 5?
My number 5 was New in Town.
Oh, that's not mine. That's my number 5 too.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen that one. So I was pleasantly surprised, although I would say it was kind of like a big budget Hallmark movie.
I said the exact same thing.
Oh my god!
I'm like, this is what a Hallmark movie would look like if it had movie stars and a big budget. I literally wrote that down.
I did too. I wrote big budget Hallmark movie. Oh my gosh!
That's
Well,
funny.
so yeah, it's a great film for her. She looks fantastic. A little thin for me, but
Yeah, that's her.
but she looks fantastic. I love the story that they put her in. You know, she's got to prove herself to this corporate, so she goes to this small, so it's fish out of water.
Yeah.
You know, whole thing, and then she like meets the, you know, the wrong guy. Oh, they get off on the wrong foot. And then, you know, she makes friends, and then she has her connection. Although I don't know if it was Harry Connick Jr. that was the stumbling block, because I've seen him in other things and he's perfectly fine. But for this film, I was like, something was missing in their chemistry for me. I don't know. Hopefully you can talk about it, but there just seemed to be like, I didn't really believe it so much. There was something that was disconnected for me in their chemistry. But it made my top. It made number 5 because I really liked her character. I liked the full arc that her character gets to experience. She had a lot of really great serious moments, comedic moments, tender moments. It's like it had everything in there that you know would want for, you know, and it was a really good ending too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what did you feel about it? How did you feel about it?
I like that I like when people go to small towns and with all quirky characters, and
Yeah,
it definitely qualifies. And I found it so hilarious how when she first arrives and she just puts on this little sweater and she's like, oh, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And she's just so freezing. I've mentioned this on 2 other podcasts. I have like a massive crush on Harry Connick Jr.
He's an awfully talented and good-looking man.
So I like their chemistry. I will say it's not the best chemistry that I've seen him with. I would say his best chemistry was with Sandra Bullock in Hope Floats.
Yes.
But
that seemed more natural.
I don't have a problem with their chemistry. Maybe it's because their characters are kind of opposite that it didn't work for you as much. But it's probably slightly I'm slightly biased because I love him so much.
Could be.
Yeah. But I love the scenes with I wrote her name down, Siobhan Hogan, who played her secretary. Those scenes are so sweet. And these people are just like, yeah, they're quirky, but they're caring and well-meaning, and I love when they make her the quilts, and it's like, we have all the phone numbers, and it's like, I'm like, that's so sweet. And
it is.
And what was the other thing I wrote down? I love her arc. So I love that she's strong and she's trying to prove herself, but she's not like so hard-headed that she's like mean.
Right.
I don't like that, but she's not like just won over in an instant. So, but
yes,
I like that she stands up for this town to her, you know, male coworkers who are just so like, oh, you know, they don't matter. She's like, you can't do that to people.
Yes.
But then I like she gets to, you know, be CEO of the company, and she gets to fall in love. It's like she doesn't have to choose, you know, one thing over the other, which sometimes will bother me in other films. I'm like, she can have both, you know,
without compromising herself.
Yeah, she doesn't have to she didn't compromise herself at all.
No, and
she just softens a little bit.
She gains so much. She gains this whole community, a whole new set of friends and family and community and self-worth, and just like everything really just kind of all clicks but it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And
We're
I
not
love
being
how, yeah,
force-fed that narrative. It actually made sense.
yes. And I love how she kind of helps them too in different ways, especially like
Mhm.
with Harry Connick's daughter. He doesn't,
Yeah.
he isn't ready for her to, be grown up. And it's like, that was such a sweet moment. And it's like, she's
Yeah.
13. But I did find it funny. It's like when the boy comes in, it's like, whatever you do to her, I do to you. Which is like, he's only 13, it's true, don't make him grow up too fast. Because
Yeah.
I have a niece who just turned 13, and I'm like, the thought of her going on a date, I'm like, oh my God, no, she's still a baby. But yeah, sweet movie.
Was a really sweet thing. That was a really sweet moment. Yeah.
And
Just
it's a
that
great
whole
movie to
bit.
watch this time of year too, because there's Christmas in it.
Yeah.
I love that part where they're all caroling and sing around the tree. I'm like, oh, this is so nice.
Mhm.
I've never gotten to do anything like that. That's small
Oh,
towns for you. So I would love to do something like that.
yeah.
Um,
I
but
I've
yeah.
lived in small towns and we did do stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
that's nice.
yeah, it's really fun. Mhm.
So okay, we both had that at number 5. What is your number 4?
My number 4 is Nurse Betty
Okay.
from 2000, and she plays a character. She's just this lady who's a waitress, but she's obsessed with this soap opera. And um she's her husband's not the greatest, but she's at home and she's watching her story, like the old
Yeah.
ladies call it, story.
My stories, yeah.
My stories. She's watching her show, and she witnesses. Did you get to see this?
No, I've never seen this one. I've always wanted
Oh,
to, but I
okay.
missed it. Yeah.
So she witness. I'll try to be careful. She witnesses a crime that happens in her house,
Oh,
and her
okay.
brain just goes clink, and she's
Oh.
just like it. She she literally has a psychological split. And so now she's just like the police are talking and she's to her and she's like, okay, well, let me, and it's a small town, everybody knows each other. So she's like, I forget the sheriff's name, but she's like, okay, whatever. Johnny, let me know how things go. And so I've got to get going now. And she's just packing a bag and I've got to get going now. And they're like, where is she go? What is she doing? Where, like, she has completely split. Her
Oh,
brain has turned
doing?
off, traumatic event, and she drives herself across country to Los Angeles to find her fiance, who is played, oh God, Greg Kinnear. Oh no, I should have wrote down their names. But he's the leading actor in the soap opera.
Okay.
And she believes she's her brain is now in the soap opera.
Oh,
Like
wow.
she knows her name. She's not saying that she's a different name. She knows her name, but she's looking for her fiance, and so people she meets along the way, and she tells them, "Oh yeah, this I'm going to see my fiance, and this is how he proposed." And she's got these people like at these road stops along the way, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is such a great love story. And she's like, yeah, and they're like, oh, I hope you find him. And she the soap opera takes place in a hospital, and she goes to get a job at the hospital where her husband works because he's a doctor. And they're like, I don't know, like, I don't know what, are you talking about this hospital? Are you talking about, and so it's like people are like going, something isn't right, but I can't put my finger on it. But she's so believable. She's
Mhm.
so convincing. And so they're just like going along, and then they're like, you've not graduated from nursing school. You have like no experience. I can't hire you as a nurse. And she's like, okay. But then she finds herself in a situation where she saves someone's life in the parking lot of the hospital. So they give her a job there. I'm like, okay, Los Angeles, this is probably not a stretch. But you're just like, oh God, healthcare. Okay. And she meets people, and then she gets into a roommate situation, and this girl's like, she figures it out. And so she's like, oh, I've got to snap this girl back into reality. So she figures out where the soap opera people are going to be. And she takes Renee Zellweger, Nurse Betty, she takes Betty to this thing thinking that when she sees the actor and he's like, I don't know you, it's going to snap. But then when she meets him, she's so convincing that he's like, wow, you're like the best, you're like the biggest fan. You're like quoting things from like a seat, 2 years ago. And so he, at the lack of better judgment, he starts dating her. And he's like, you can drop the act anytime. And she's like, what act?
Oh, no.
And so it isn't until later when she's forced into a situation where she comes back to her reality and she's like, oh my gosh. And then the police find her because they think she's just gone missing. Nobody knows where she's gone. So it takes them a while to find her in Los Angeles. And a bunch of stuff goes down. But I really liked her in this movie because she's so committed to the delusion. Like, this film gives her an opportunity to be like her regular self, and then this in a crummy relationship and working a dead-end job as a waitress, but then she's like swept up into this fantasy world, but she's like totally oh no, this is real. And people are like, what? But she's like, oh no, this is my life, this is my. And so it's hard to determine, like, she's either a really good actress, like, because there was just so many layers. The plot is crazy, the acting, I said, it was just really a great cast. And just I just felt like she really just, it was perfectly written for her. Believable. Because it was just so out there. Allison Janney's in it. I mean, there's some really, really strong actors and actresses in that film. So I really, really enjoyed it enough for it to be number 4. That was just really strong.
It's just one I've always wanted to watch, and I just haven't had a chance to. I remember that there's like a famous moment at the Golden Globes because I remember she won for this movie. And when they were announcing it, she was in the bathroom. So she had to come running out to get her award.
Yeah. So that's right.
Stuck in my brain. I remember it was for Nurse Betty. I didn't know exactly what the plot was. It sounds interesting. So it's like kind of like a dark comedy sort of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
It sort of sounds like, did you ever watch Friends?
Yeah.
It sort of sounds like when Brooke Shields guest starred on. Yeah. Where she thought Joey was actually Draco Moray. She's like coming to the apartment. It's like, he's like, I'm not a doctor. I don't have a medical degree. To the people at the hospital know about this, Drake. Sort of like,
which was an amazing,
sort of like that. Yeah.
Which was an amazing guest spot for Brooke Shields.
Yeah.
Which actually, that being on that Friends episode got her the sitcom Suddenly Susan.
Oh, it did. Oh, that's nice for her.
Yeah, because they were like, "Oh my gosh, we didn't realize you had
She's
such a
fun.
comedic
She's fun.
talent, like you were, that you would put yourself." Because she is really she commits fully,
Mhm.
Brooke Shields. Like,
Yeah,
she
she's great.
goes for it,
Yeah.
and so they're like, "We didn't know that you were willing to, like, be that weird, so, yeah, let's give you a show," and so, yeah, Suddenly Susan, because she's really wacky in that show too.
I
She's
remember. Yeah.
really over the top and slapstick and zany. Really, and that's a really good. That was a blast from the past. I forgot all about that show. Fun.
Yeah, it was great. But Nurse Betty, yeah, sounds like a good movie. I will watch it sometime. I don't think it was streaming or anything, so I didn't get a chance to
Yeah.
watch it. But so my number 4 is Cinderella Man from
Okay.
2005. This is directed by Ron Howard, and it's one I feel like gets overlooked in his filmography, but I think it's just as good as the ones that get all the attention, like
Mm-hmm.
Apollo 13 and A Beautiful Mind, which I love those movies, but I'm like, this one's just as good as those. Um, it's the true story of the boxer James J. Braddock takes place during the Great Depression, and Renee Zellweger plays Russell Crowe plays James Braddock, and Renee Zellweger is his wife May. And there's just something about this movie. It's like it's real serious, real moving, inspiring. I just love movies like this in general, and
Mm-hmm.
so well made. Wonderful, wonderful performances from Russell Crowe and Renee Zellweger, and Paul Giamatti is fantastic in this movie. He was nominated for an Oscar. If it was my choice, he would have won.
Ah.
I don't remember who won, but I would have given it to him. But Russell Crowe and Renee Zellweger, they feel like a real couple to me. I feel like history there, and
Mm.
there's moments of like real like happiness and triumph, and then there's moments where it's just like they're so downtrodden and such despair. But no matter what's going on, you always feel the love between them, which when you get actors really good actors like they are, you're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
that. And so both of them are just like two of my favorite actors. So this is one of my favorite Russell Crowe performances, and then one of my favorite performances from her. So yeah, we're judging just the movies, but yeah, I love this performance from her. I think I wrote down a few scenes that just like really like got to me.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very they don't hardly have any money, and they have 3 kids, and one of the kids is sick, and she's home and she's seen him, and he's just like not even barely responsive. So she just can't take it. She has to literally go outside and cry because she doesn't want to cry
Oh.
for children. And it's just like, oh, you just feel that. I mean, even if
Yeah.
you don't have children yourself, you could just feel that despair and pain. And then
Mm-hmm.
she sends the children away. And when he comes home, it's like, she's like, you weren't here. You didn't see how bad he was. And he's like, but I don't want to give up. We have to stay together. And because he had promised the son that they would never be sent away. He's like, but
Mm.
I promised him because yeah, there's a scene where the little boy, I think he steals a loaf of bread or something. And he's like, why did you steal this? And then the kid, poor baby just breaks down. It's like he was just so afraid of being sent away that he did it.
Yeah.
Um, and then I love the scene when she goes to the church and she's talking to the priest about she goes, I'm here to pray for Jimmy because it's like his big fight. And you could see the whole church is filled, and he's like, well, they're here for the same reason. They're all praying.
Oh.
And I'm Catholic too, so it's nice to see, positive representation like that. And there's something about movies that take place during the Depression. People, they film them in a certain way, which is so appropriate, with like muted color palette and kind of somber, which is what it should be, because it was a depressing depressing time. But I wrote down the cinematographer. What's his name? I can't find it. Shoot. Salvatore Totino. Nice Italian. Yeah, he was the cinematographer. But yeah, the muted costumes, the color palette, direction, performances, everything about this movie, I just love. It's just very, very moving. And if anyone watching hasn't seen it, go watch it. It's fantastic. And it has a good ending. It's not it takes place during depression, but the ending is very, inspiring, and it's based on a real people. So it's great. Do you have any thoughts?
I didn't get to watch this one, and not because I didn't try. I looked up this film and I could see it, and every time I would click on it, it would take me. It took me to this. It took me to Cinderella Man, but it was the actual documentary of this fighter.
Oh, that's
It's the
different.
same name.
That's
And
funny.
I was watching it going, wow, this is a really interesting intro. I wonder when Russell Crowe and Renee Zellweger are gonna come in. I literally watched like the first 10, 15. I'm going, it's
not
just
the movie.
an interesting approach. I'm just like watching it going, wow, it's so intriguing, but it's like a full documentary on this fighter. Just like, something isn't right. I just feel like these are big stars. They should have been here by now. So I pause it, and it's like, it's the documentary. I'm going, how first, like, why did I watch it for this long before stopping going? Because I was like, I don't know. Everybody's got their own style. So I thought there's this, it was bleed into like the actors, and I was like, hello, are you guys gonna like get to the Russell Crowe? When is And so I was looking for it, and I just couldn't. I guess it just wasn't streaming somewhere or whatever, but I just could not get it to watch. But I was thinking, this is probably a really good story, because I watched 10 or 15 minutes of the documentary, and I was like, this is such a really, an intriguing character. So I'm definitely going to keep it on my list to watch at some point. And then hearing what you have to say about it, I'm very interested in it now, because I would really like to see. I appreciate Russell Crowe. I think he's a really strong actor, and I think Renee Zellweger, she just really has a knack for these time periods.
It does, yeah.
She really fits into these time periods, are really good for her. So I think it's going to be, I think I'll probably really enjoy it. And because I love the story, so I'm looking forward to it. It's on my list. I just ran out of time, so I'm trying to figure out how to find it somewhere where it wasn't the documentary.
Yeah. It's hard, because great movies are often just not streaming anywhere. And that's the problem. It's one I own. So
nice.
I own it on DVD. So I've seen it. I haven't seen it a lot, but I've seen it enough that I didn't have to rewatch it, because I remembered it well enough. Yeah, if you enjoy Russell Crowe, I highly recommend it.
Okay.
Because I mean, I like this even more than like Gladiator. I mean, I thought it was better than that. And that's the one everyone always talks about with him. So I mean, I like.
Well, he's half naked in it, Gladiator. Well, he's be half naked in this one too, although he probably modified his body a little bit. He was pretty cut in Gladiator, and it had to be
Um,
probably somewhat, but
he
in a
is.
different way for
He's real
Cinderella
like
Man.
he's real like his arms are really big, because he's like a
Yeah,
boxer.
more bulky.
Yes, he's more bulky, and there's
Yeah,
no vanity here. When he gets beat up, you really see it. It's very authentic. And
I like that.
one of the other boxers, he's played by actor named Craig Bierko, and he's like he's brutal. Like he's known for like killing people in
Oh
the ring.
gosh.
So then he's fighting them. So of course they're like very scared for him. So yeah, it's serious, but it's very good. So yeah, I recommend it.
Cool. Yeah, well, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
So your number 3 was Leatherheads, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go to my number 3. It's Bridget Jones's Diary
Mm-hmm.
from 2001. So this is just like, I think, one of the funniest, most charming rom-coms. Very,
Mm-hmm.
very, very loosely based on Pride and Prejudice, very, very loosely.
Very loosely, yeah.
But I feel like this is the movie that kind of put Renee Zellweger on the map as far as like, oh, this girl's really good. Because she was in Jerry Maguire and she was good, but that was, as we said, that was Tom Cruise's movie. This one she's the lead. I mean, she's in almost, is she in every scene? I mean, practically. I mean, the movie relies on her. And I loved the voiceover narration from her. That was very funny. Especially when she meets Colin Firth's character and she's like, ding dong, maybe mom got it right. And then he turns around and he's wearing the sweater. She's like, maybe not. She nails the accent. She's done it very many times now. She's so good at the British accent, where I think she fooled some people when she was filming it. People thought she was actually British because she stayed in not, she didn't stay in character, but she didn't lose the accent when she was making it. And I love how real she is, how very relatable. Constantly, making mistakes, trying hard, failing, but she gets back up. Acts stupid sometimes, but that's real life. Sometimes you get charmed by the wrong guy. And the moment when she's sitting in a bathtub and like crying and she takes off her eyelashes, I'm like, oh god, I feel that. And then Hugh Grant, Colin Firth are just great.
Right.
Yeah, Hugh Grant is so good at being, I called him, he's a charming rake. So he's not a good person at all, but you can understand why someone would be taken by him because he has that charm. But I'm like, he's good at being just a jackass. But you don't like hate him, but you're like, no, you're not good enough. And then Colin Firth, obviously born to be a Mr. Darcy. This is the second time he's played Mr. Darcy, and he's good because he's very stoic and repressed, which is how British people are. But then when he softens, it's very attractive and sexy and stuff. And I love their fight. The most British fight ever, where they're barely not even hitting each other. Where they're trying to kick each other, and then finally they just have to go through a window. That's how you end it. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But yeah, it's just a fun movie. Great comedy. I love all the supporting people. Her parents. Jim Broadbent's her father. Oh, I forget the name. The one who plays her mother. I forget her name. But yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on this?
Bridget Jones's Diary is actually my number 2.
Okay.
Because Leatherheads was my number 3. So Bridget Jones, and I was shocked by that because my memory was just like, oh, Bridget Jones, blah, blah, blah. But then when I rewatched it, I was like, what was I thinking? This movie is so fun.
Yeah.
It's a perfect vehicle for her. I love the character so much. I didn't see any of the sequels, but her character is like, I could have been friends with this girl.
Yeah.
Easily. She could have, I mean, I just found her to be so relatable. The whole underwear thing, like it is Murphy's Law. If you wear the granny panties, then it's gonna happen. But if you like wear the sexy ones, it isn't. Like I cracked up because I was like, absolutely, you've got it, girl. Like, and then the awkwardness with her and Colin Firth, just the way he just stood there while she was just like digging a bigger hole. Oh, smoking and drinking. Okay. Every time she was around him, it was just like a bigger hole and a bigger hole and a bigger hole that she would dig herself. Like he always caught her at the most awkward time. Like she never had a chance to just be like, I'm actually a decent person. Like you're just catching me at the wrong time. But then also, even with her relationship with Hugh Grant's character, she doesn't fall into that doe-eyed trap. She is herself throughout the whole thing. And she does get some confidence, but she ultimately is who she is. She never really changes her core. Which I really appreciated. It was more like an emotional arc and seeing herself as being like, no, I mean, this is your boss and he's just a fun fling, but he's not going to be the guy. Like eventually, but I also didn't feel like she put all her eggs in that basket. I think she just assumed that, they were together and she was monogamous and she assumed that he was too. But she didn't diminish herself when it went wrong. Like she's like, no. And then when he comes and shows up at her birthday party, like she obviously has that wrong message. She was told a lie, which I'm really happy when it comes out later, because Colin Firth's character was kind of hard to read. Like, geez, this guy is so stiff. Like, he's like the perfect. It's funny because you either get Hugh Grant, who's just like, hey, baby, I'm like groovy, cool. And then you've got Colin Firth, who's like, I'm a statue. I do everything exactly right. And then you've got Bridget like going back and forth, like, I can't figure out. But then when he softens and he's like, I just really like you. And the girlfriend of his, she's really great. She played, didn't she play the teacher in Matilda? Like the sweet teacher. But she's played some other things and she's really good. The dark-haired lady that
I don't
that
know.
plays Colin Firth,
Yeah,
controlling girlfriend. I forget her name now.
Let me see. I don't know if that's the same.
And she's excellent. She's excellent, but it's just Bridget is such a breath of fresh air for Colin Firth's character. And he sees like when he finally sees her and sees beyond her and just realizes, yeah, I really like you just like you are.
Mhm.
And then when they finally cook together and they have all that wonderful those wonderful moments, but that fight is hilarious.
Yes.
And I vaguely remember um some publicity about her gaining weight for that movie. And
Yeah.
then and people were giving her a bad time. Oh, you gained whatever. And I'm watching the movie going, she looks fantastic. She
Yeah.
looks perfect.
Yeah.
Did she gain like well for her because she tends to be run very thin, so she probably did gain like 10 or 15 pounds, but she looks the best that she looked for me. I felt like it was the best that she's looked in any. It was the most real. It was the most like she was comfortable in her body. Like she seemed really happy, genuinely happy in her body. Whereas I feel like she doesn't always have that underlying energy in some of her other films. But in this one, it was just like, I'm just settling into Bridget's body and Bridget's skin, and I'm just going to smoke and drink and, I'm just going to lay it all out there and have a really good time. So that's why it made it to my number 2, because I felt like it was so natural, really just the perfect role for her. It didn't feel like she was trying. Her
Mhm.
accent seemed natural. It just, so it was just really super fun. And I had dismissed that movie as just that, something fluffy a long time ago. But then on the rewatch, I was like, dang, this movie's awesome. I love it. I love her in it. So it made it to number 2 for me.
Yeah. Well, one. Hold on a second. I'm gonna pause. Yeah. So you're right. She is the person who plays Miss Honey and Matilda. That actress.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, as far as Renee Zellweger, that's the one thing I don't like is that they are constantly commenting on her weight when like she's still small. I mean,
Yeah, she is.
it's that ridiculous standards that they had in that era of you would see these women who weren't rail, toothpick thin, they were called fat. And it's so stupid.
Yeah.
I think she looks fantastic because she's a little softer and
I do
beautiful.
too. I love it.
And she's still beautiful when she's thinner, but she looks so pretty in this movie. And
She does.
I do love that moment with Colin Firth where he's like, I don't think you an idiot. I like you just the way you are. I mean, that's fantastic. And
It is a fantastic line.
yeah, and she does, you're right. She changes, but not a lot, not at her core. And I think that's important. And when Hugh Grant shows back up and he's like, if I can't make it with you, I can't make it with anyone. And I'm like, oh, be still my heart. How's she supposed to react to that? She's like, that's not good enough for me. And
yeah, perfectly.
Yeah. Now I have watched so there's 3 sequels. I've watched 2 of them. I've watched 2 of them. The second one's like, it's fine. The third one was a little bit better, but they don't compare to the original one. So I don't really watch those.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to watch the new one at all because I think they have Colin Firth's character dies or something like that, and then she's single.
Oh, geez.
I'm like, I don't want to watch that. No, thank you. So I just live in Bridget Jones' Diary #1, and that's it.
I think that happens with certain films. It's like it doesn't need to have a sequel.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone. Let it just stand on its own. Move on to something else. If you like that character, then just write something else with that energy
Mm-hmm.
for her. Like you don't need to you can't recreate it. And then what's the story supposed to be? Them is, later in their relationship, or I don't know. I wasn't interested. It just didn't seem like a movie that needed a
Yeah.
sequel. So I
Yeah,
didn't
and
bother.
the first one had such a great ending, with her running in her underwear in the snow, and it is
Yeah.
a little funny. It's like you could have said something, but it is great when I'm just getting you a new diary, and he kisses her. And I love when he wraps his coat around her. I'm like, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
That's great. But yeah, Bridget
Yeah.
Jones, it's great. So that's your number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my number 2 is Down with Love.
Yep.
So my full thoughts on this are that like I said, I liked where it lived. It's not a parody. It's not a straight
Mm-hmm.
period. It's something in between. It's some sort of amalgam of the two things.
Yeah.
And I loved how deliberate and over the top it was. So I remember I saw this in theaters. I went with my mom and dad, and there was one other person in the movie theater and no one else.
Oh gosh.
So, I mean, that's kind of fun, but at the same time, I'm like, why is no one going to see this movie? This looks fun. And
Yeah.
we were laughing so hard at it. Well, one, because for anyone who doesn't know, this is basically, it's like an homage, like a loving homage to like 1960s sex comedies.
Yes.
And the plot of it is like an amalgam of like 3 different movies. It's like the Doris Day, Rock Hudson movies, Pillow Talk and Lover Come Back. And then
Yes.
it's also like Sex and the Single Girl with Natalie Wood and Tony Curtis. Like very close to that one, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know those movies, you'll enjoy this movie because you'll recognize all the things they're going for. I mean, all the characters are a lot like the characters in those movies. So like Renée Zellweger is a lot like how Doris Day was, very, very strong, independent woman, but she wants to find love too. And Ewan McGregor has that like Rock Hudson, Tony Curtis, Cary Grant sort of feel. And David Hyde Pierce is like the most perfect casting in this movie because he's
Yes. Oh
like
my
Tony
gosh.
Randall, and I'm like, he could not be more perfect for this part. With this like nervous energy, and he's always so awkward. I'm like, he was just so perfect for this role. And Sarah Paulson is good too. And I love how
Oh
Tony
my.
Randall's in the movie.
Uh,
I thought that was
Sarah
really
Paulson.
sweet. Yeah, she's great.
She
Yeah,
can't miss.
yeah,
She
she's
can't.
fantastic.
I love her and everything.
I love how colorful it is. Like there's so
Mm-hmm.
much color, and all the costumes are just gorgeous to look at. And like the part you're like, this is a little too much when they walk in and they stop basically to show off what they're wearing and take off their coats. I mean, I found it funny. It is a little much, but I'm just like, this is funny. Did I write down the costume designer? Daniel Orlandi. Great costumes.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And then the set designs are so like ridiculous. Especially her apartment with like these huge windows,
Oh my god.
and his
The
apartment
sets
is
are
like
amazing.
his is like the man trap, basically, for the trap for the woman with
Yes.
the bed that comes out and the bar that comes out. I'm like, this is so 60s, and it's so funny. And then just the dialogue, it's that fast paced, witty, and the actors are so good at it, especially Renee Zellweger. So I love to quote the thing she says about Ewan McGregor's character. His name's Catcher Block. She's like, Catcher
Mm-hmm.
Block? The man's man, ladies' man, man about town. She says it, always so fast. Um, and then the one scene when she has this really, really long speech telling
Mm-hmm.
him that basically she'd been pretend because he'd been pretending, but she'd been pretending too. And it's like this one take. I don't know how many minutes it is, but it's long. And I'm like, this is amazing. And I love when it cuts away to him with his mouth just gaping open. I'm like, that was a funny jump cut right there. Because it's like he's just so aghast. It's like, what? What do you mean you were pretending to?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I've always loved this movie because I love the 60s comedies. I love the score. It's so like it's great.
Yeah.
It's by Mark Shaman, who's an amazing composer. Most people know him for his musicals. So he did Hairspray and what else did he do? He worked on the TV show Smash, which I love. I love all that music.
I love Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one.
So the score is great, so bright and peppy. And I remember watching the making of, and he was like, I'm so happy where I can do a score where my notes match what's happening on screen. So
cool.
So there's a moment where she's like blinking her eyes, and he's like, the score matches her blinking.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, he just made him so happy to be able to do that. And yeah. So you could sense that in listening to it. Yeah, the production design is by Andrew Laws. Fantastic. So much fun. Yeah, and I love the ending when she has the red hair all of a sudden, and they have such great chemistry. I love them together. I've always loved Ewan McGregor. And it's so fun at the end when they're singing a song together. I'm like, I love this. That's so fun. Great songs. Overall, the soundtrack. I love the back and forth when they're getting ready for their date. They go back and forth between two different versions of Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah.
That was fun because each fit the character. I'm like, that's a fun choice. I like that.
Yeah.
And the side by side is so funny because it's based on these movies, but they take it further with the suggestive content. So that made me chuckle. their phone calls and stuff. Though I read in the IMDb trivia that those scenes were cut from British TV or something because they were so suggestive.
Oh my gosh.
No, which is kind of shocking considering some of the stuff that's made in England.
I know, like Benny Hill and things like that.
Yeah. I'm like, it's not that bad.
No, I didn't think it was that bad.
I mean, it's obviously more than the movies it was based on, but it's not bad. But yeah, it's just fun. I've always loved it.
I think it's a really fun film, and I agree with everything you're saying about the set and the music and the score and the costumes. The actors are all great. I think where it, like I had said before, where it pulled me out was that it was too self-aware of, instead of playing the dialogue straight, because when you see her in Leatherheads, when you see her in other films where she's just zing 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 in with her dialogue, so they could have done that, playing it fully straight. They could have done all of the reveals, but it was too on the nose for me.
Sure, that's fair.
Like, this is what we're doing, instead of these are the characters, and I'm watching a film that's encapsulating the 60s films. It was like, it just had that one little layer that was like, see what we're doing?
Yeah.
Oh, see what we're gonna do? Oh, see what we just did? Oh, aren't we cute? Aren't we funny? And so that kind of vibe just kept pulling me out. But I can definitely agree with everything, because I laughed at all those moments. I still really appreciated it, for all of those reasons that that made it your number 2. So,
Mhm.
but just that one little that little directing bit, that's not their fault. The director did that.
Yeah.
It just kept it out of my, yeah. It kept me from really uh, buying into them
Yeah.
completely.
And that's fine. I mean, it's a gimmick. So it will work
Yeah,
for some
yeah,
people and it won't work for others. The
yeah.
director is Peyton Reed. So
Oh, yeah, that's right.
he did the
Hmm.
Ant-Man movies and Bring It On. So he likes doing sort of kind of slightly campy, funny stuff.
Yeah,
So that's his shtick, basically, I think
that's
is what
his
it is.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that was you did your number 2, right?
yeah. Bridget Jones.
Okay. And what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Judy.
Oh, the Judy Garland. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. She blows my mind. That film blew my mind. When I first saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh snap." You know, because she really just disappears.
Mhm.
She disappears so much into Judy Garland, and every now and then you can hear her voice, but she does a really good job even altering her voice. So sometimes you can hear a little gravel and you can catch, oh, that's Renee Zellweger.
Yeah.
But she takes on Judy's persona so fully and really lays out every bit of vulnerability. Like earlier, when you, and in other episodes, when you're talking about seeing everything happening on their face,
Mhm.
she wears Judy. You can see it on her face, you can see it in her body language, you can see it. I mean, she's just dripping with every emotion, every bit of energy, every bit of disappointment, every bit of um and every bit of I'm exhausted and I have to perform. Okay, I'm on, and you're pushing through and you're putting on a performance, and I don't know how I'm being held together right now. And but you can see that. You can see the exhaustion. You can see
Yeah.
so much. Um and it's like a weird movie because this she's such an icon, and you don't realize, I didn't realize how much she went through in her. I knew some things about what she went through doing um the Wizard of Oz, and just the climate, and the environment as being
Mhm.
a young actress and the things that they did to them. But then as she gets older, and then just the things like no money. How does she not have any, like,
Yeah.
all of these things, and then the things that she has to do to take care of her kids and performing, and just all the sacrifices that she makes, and uh she's you got to do it. This is your thing. This is your life. It doesn't matter if you're tired. That's what this pill's for. It doesn't matter if you're manic. That's what this pill's for. It doesn't matter that you don't think you have a voice. Doesn't matter. You got to get out there. And I didn't think for 1 minute that it was Renee Zellweger being being Judy. I thought that this was Renee Zellweger as Judy. This was Judy. Like, I feel like she fully encompassed that character, the good, the bad, and the ugly in everything. And I think that she didn't hold back at all. I didn't feel like she held back at any moment. I think it was like a swan song. Like, she left everything she had in every scene. It was out there.
Mhm.
And so I was just amazed, and I was really happy that it was so well received, because you could see how hard she really, really worked on that film. So, and I was just really, really, really happy for her. So that's my number one for Renee Zellweger.
That's a great pick. I'm glad it's on your list because it didn't make mine. Doesn't mean I didn't like it. I, as someone who loves Judy Garland, I was like, how's she gonna do at this? I don't know, because I'm like, she doesn't really look
Mm-hmm.
like her. And I was just blown away because she embodied her so well. I mean, she had her mannerisms down and the way she stood, and yeah, like you said, the way she spoke. She did an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
I knew some things, but I didn't know everything. I knew she definitely had struggles, at this time in her life, with the pills and money and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's heartbreaking
It
to watch,
is.
but I've only seen it once, so I don't remember everything. But the moment that stood out to me was when it was after she had performed and those two men were meeting her, like, was it at the stage door or something?
Mm-hmm.
And she invites them to, like, to her place, and they're like, "Yeah, of course, like, what are we gonna say no?" And then when they're playing the piano and she's singing and he starts to cry,
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Oh, that really got to me." I mean, because she could see what she means to them.
Yeah.
She recognizes it, and that's just a beautiful moment. I mean, I don't know if that really happened. Um,
Yeah,
I'd
it's hard
like
to
to hope
know.
it did. I would like to hope something like that would happen, because nice moment for these people, obviously, but it's a nice moment where she could be be herself, and
Mm-hmm.
how much just her being her meant to someone else,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
without they didn't like expect anything else in return. It's not like they expected her to be doing that, but they
Yeah.
appreciate it so much. And yeah, great film, great, amazing performance.
Yeah.
I'm so happy she won Best Actress
I
for
am
it.
too.
So well deserved. So well deserved.
Really. Really, truly. Mm-hmm.
Because it's funny, her other Oscar, I am not a fan of that film, Cold Mountain.
I didn't
Um,
see it.
I
I
like
didn't watch it.
I don't like her character. So it's
Yeah.
not her fault. She's doing what she's asked, but her character's very grating. So
Oh,
I don't care for the film. I think it's very, very depressing.
yeah.
And I think the only person I really like in the movie is Jude Law. So, and
Hmm.
it's just kind of a downer, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
watched it once, I don't need to see it again. So, with that, I'm like, I don't care if she won awards for it. She's so much better in so many other things. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, my number one is Chicago. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I will agree that I feel like even though this is Renee Zellweger video, Catherine Zeta-Jones does outshine her a little bit. Um, and though I still think they're both great. I mean, it's like a real ensemble. Now, I think
Yeah.
everyone's good in the movie. I don't have any problem with Richard Gere in it. Um, I found him very, very funny the way he played it,
Mm. Yeah.
because he's so smarmy and, not a great person. But
No.
he knows how to finagle and exploit, and I think he had that down. I will say, he doesn't like have the greatest singing voice, and he's not like the greatest dancer. So they probably could have cast someone better at those things. But I like his
Mm-hmm.
acting in it. So I overlook
Okay.
that part. But just but
Okay.
as far as the movie though, I just love the way it's it was adapted. So I never seen it on stage, but I know the film is different. So I loved the way that they made the musical numbers like a fantasy all in her head. I thought that was so clever. And
Yes.
it makes the scenes that aren't the songs, it's almost a little jarring because the musical numbers have this like high frenetic energy, a lot of cuts, a lot of editing. So when it cuts to the just the straight, dramatic scenes, they're very still. There's not a lot of movement. So it's very jarring, but actually I think that's very effective because
Yeah.
it helps the two things stand out. And so I wrote down this was nominated for 13 Oscars.
I remember that.
And it won 6. It won Picture, Supporting Actress for Catherine Zeta-Jones, so well deserved. I mean, like,
Yes.
she's amazing.
She is.
It won Art, Set Direction, Costumes, Film Editing, and Sound. And I mean, yeah, especially the costumes are great. Yeah, the editing is really, it's almost like the probably the director and the editor go hand in hand. The editing makes the movie the way it's done, because it gives it so much life and energy. And yeah, I love that. I think it's funny that these women are all murderers, and yet you're kind of rooting for them. It's like they get acquitted, and you're not upset.
Yeah.
But they get what they want.
He had it coming. He had it coming.
Oh, I love that song. Yeah, my favorite songs are that song. And All That Jazz is great. That opens the movie with Catherine Zeta-Jones. I love Roxy Hart. That's the one where Renee gets to show off what she can do, basically. And I love when all the men are lifting her up and she has to walk. I mean, that is difficult. And she made it look easy.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite one is, I believe it's called We Both Reach for the Gun. So it's the one where Richard Gere is like, he's like a puppeteer. And Renée Zellweger is like a ventriloquist dummy, basically.
Oh, yeah.
I think that is so brilliant and so clever, the way that's done, and the way Renée Zellweger moves. She's like a rag doll almost. And then Richard Gere is like, you see him with the puppet strings, the way you could see the way he's manipulating all the reporters and stuff. Like he's the puppet master. And
yeah.
I mean, I love that part. That's my favorite part of the whole movie. But yeah, I love the fast pace, the music, all the actors are so great. I was happy it won all those awards. Oh, you have a question?
I forgot when I rewatched it, because I have it. It's in my library. But I forgot that John C. Reilly was in it. And his
great.
Mr. Cellophane is probably one of the best musical numbers that I really stood out for me on the rewatch, because I love All That Jazz. I love He Had It Coming. But when he sings Mr. Cellophane, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is so freaking talented. It was so good. I felt so sad. Like, he was really pulling at my heartstrings. I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for you. I was like, because like, he's this perfectly good guy. And Renee's like, you're just so boring and nothing. And like, everything about you is, but he's like such a sweet, loyal, like, and you're just like, oh man. And then he sings Mr. Cellophane. You're just like, oh geez, it's just like your heart breaks for this guy. And you're like, she deserves to be in jail because she's so rotten to him. She has this great man and she's got these big dreams, but she's clouded by this furniture salesman who obviously can't do anything. And then, so she does this in a just like, what would you call it? A crime of passion or something, because she's jilted. And so she just impulsively,
she snaps.
shoots the guy. But it's like, why didn't she, I don't remember, but why doesn't she like try on her own? It's not like she was trying and not getting anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that in the story, and I was trying to remember.
I'm trying
and
to remember.
I'm just like, so the first guy who, it would just seemed really like, I wasn't, it's the story and everything. So everything is really fast paced. But yeah. So I guess I had a hard time rooting, and maybe that worked against it in this Renée Zellweger favorites. Maybe I was like, no, this is not one of my favorite, because she does John C. Reilly wrong, and after Mr. Cellophane, I can't think anything good about her. So nope, I'll acknowledge this film in my honorable mentions, but it's not going in my top 5. I was like bitter, like, no, I'm not gonna do it. So
I get
that's
it.
probably what it was.
Because he's so
why it didn't land.
Sweet. Yeah, he's so sweet, and it's good that he just at the end. I mean, he was still willing to be with her and everything, and she's like not even paying attention to him. It's like, just leave, dude. You deserve so much better.
This poor guy.
He's like, there was never a baby. What are you thinking? I'm not pregnant. And she's so awful.
She is awful. I just was like, but she's not. Oh, she's so good at being awful. I love it. I was like, no, I don't like her. I don't like her. So I can't give her any props because I don't like her.
I think when you were asking about like, why doesn't she just try on her own? I think it's a case of just no one will give her the time of day. They just see they just think of her as like this cheap, floozy, and like, oh, they can't see her talent that she has.
Right.
So she's like, okay, I got to find someone who will get me in the door. And that's the only way I'm going to get anywhere. I mean, even at the end there, she's singing and they cut her off. And it's like, she's right back to square one. And that's why it's like, but if she has Catherine Zeta-Jones, it's like, oh, this is something different. This is how we're going to make it. We can't make it on our own. But if we team up, the two murderesses, but we were found not guilty. We can do it. And obviously that's what happens. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, she's not a good person, but I still just love.
You still love her. That's okay.
Normally I wouldn't, but because it's like, that's bad morals. But there's just something about it that I just love, and the more times I watch it, the more I enjoy it. I wish that the director had won. I feel like he deserved a lot of the credit for how good the movie is, and especially considering who actually won. Not that it wasn't good. It was Roman Polanski won.
Oh.
Yeah, for The Pianist. And I'm like,
that's right.
Yeah, so that's very divisive and controversial for obvious reasons that I'm not going to talk about. But
yes,
I
think you're right.
What? Oh.
because um, um, a, a stage show like Chicago is really hard to adapt to
Mm-hmm.
the screen because you do have to play with um, how to get those big songs in, all that jazz and the Bob Fosse choreography. You have to
Yeah.
figure out how do I get the scenes and these numbers where I'm not just filming this a staged version, how do I turn this into so to make it like a fantasy,
Mhm.
and it really solves a lot of problems
Yeah, it was so
because
well
then
done.
you can have those staged versions with all the choreography,
Mhm.
and you can also have real situations,
Yeah.
and it goes together seamlessly. It makes sense.
Yeah. And
So
I love that it was Tay Diggs is like announcing it, like, ladies and gentlemen, that such and such is about to do this. And
mhm.
yeah, so well done. It is interesting how all the other women in the cell block, the one who is like she's found guilty and then she's hung. She's the
Uh-huh.
one who kept saying she goes, I'm innocent. And
Yeah.
you never know if she actually was. It's just left up to, the audience to decide. And
Yeah.
it's very sobering. So
Mhm.
it reminds you, but the end of the movie, I think, was really well done because it's like in 2 seconds they already forget about her because there's something else. And it's like she's like,
Isn't that typical?
yeah, so typical the way the media is. It's like you're hot 1 minute, you're nothing the next. And
Yep.
it was a hard lesson, but that's very realistic. And
It is. It's
it's
like
like they
real
didn't even
life.
want to take my picture. And I'm like, yeah, because you're old news now, Roxy,
You're old news, Roxy
She's
Hart.
old news. And it yeah, she had to learn that. But yeah, Chicago, I love it. Very well done.
I love it that
Yeah,
your number one and my number one are strong, musically driven
yeah,
films. It wasn't like a straight movie and a musical. We
yeah.
both chose strong musical films because there was so much music in Judy, and then
Mhm.
of course Chicago with its iconic music. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that because I love musicals. I love,
Me too.
like, music biopics. I love all
I do
those.
too.
Yeah.
I do too. I love that.
So let's recap our top 5. You can go
Okay.
first.
My top five was number five, New in Town. Number four, Nurse Betty. Number three, Leatherheads. Number two, Bridget Jones's Diary. And number one, Judy.
Okay. My number 5 is also New in Town. Number 4, Cinderella Man. Number 3, Bridget Jones's Diary. Number 2, Down with Love. And number 1, Chicago. Well, thank you for being my guest.
So much fun. I'm
Yes, it
so glad I
was.
finally got to talk with you about these. They're so fun. Because at first I was like, oh no, we have a difference here. I wasn't sure how it was gonna go, but really
It's
they were
good.
just
Yeah.
we both actually liked everything on our lists
Mhm.
mostly. It was just how we were putting them in the ranking, but
Mhm.
we did appreciate so many similar things, which was really fun.
Yeah.
And to hear your perspective and the things that you like, what calls to you, what speaks to you in film and different things. It was just really fun to hear all of those wonderful moments and stuff. So I had a really, really good time, and I hope to come back again and talk about some more things.
Yeah, you are going to be back because I forget which ones you wanted to do, but we'll be doing those in the new year.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
so I hope
I
everyone.
promise to have a better background.
Oh, you're fine
I'll
no
have a
matter
better
what.
background by
Yeah.
then.
So I hope everyone enjoyed watching or listening to this. Please give this a like, leave a comment, subscribe, do all the fun things. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season, and wherever you're enjoying this, I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful day, and keep on smiling. Take care.